Hey everybody, what's going on? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And wanted to make a video and talk about the team build guide for the Wakandan and the War Dog team. Yes, we're going to be talking about all 7 characters here. Going to be talking about the best T4s for each character, the best ISO weight, and the reason why. Talk about the top team trio, right? Which I think we already know who those are, but I'll just make sure that I, reiterate it, emphasize it again. Red Star priorities, who should you put your promotion credits on, or who should you use your promotion credits on? Best team comps in terms of like Crucible for your Scourge, things like that we'll talk about here in this video. And for War, it's kind of pretty obvious. Like the War Dogs team is definitely what you want to use for War, of course, right? But yeah, we're gonna dive into all of that here today. I will say this in advance, this is like a passion project team for me, so you're going to be a lot of T4s here that you'll see me have on characters that I would not recommend, but I'll definitely make sure to talk about those so that you can differentiate between what's actually important and what was definitely luxury T4s for these characters. Also, first time coming to the channel here, and you would like to see some more Marvel Strike Force content, then hit the subscribe button, also notification bell just in case. Just so that you know when the videos do go live. Also check out the links that are down below in the description, link to my Discord, my Twitch page, also my Patreon, which is another way for you to support the channel here. So take a look at those things, guys, and some other stuff that's other links that are down there, like Facebook and Twitter as well. All right, but let's actually dive right on into the list here. So first and foremost, we're going to start off here with a Black Panther and then go through his T4s, and then we'll circle back around to, we're going to go through T4s for everybody first, and then we'll circle back around to ISO 8. So in terms of T4s for Black Panther, honestly, the only 2 that I think I would recommend you doing are going to be his passive ability and then also his ultimate. So his passive is pretty important because unkill, you're going to get the extra 20% speed bar fill. So before this was 80%, and that just goes up to 100%. You definitely want to take advantage of that. Now, additionally, what you'll get too is that in Cosmic Crucible or on War Offense, you'll be able to, while he is charged, he'll get an extra 50% drain for himself and then also all Wakandan allies as well. So that could definitely be incredibly helpful in both of those particular game modes. Now for his ultimate ability, I think this might be potentially luxury, but I do like it. In Cosmic Crucible, what it does, in Cosmic Crucible also in War Offense, what it does is that whenever he has 4 or more charges, he'll fill his speed bar by 30% for self and all Wakandan allies. So yes, you're gonna have to build up and get the 4 charges on him first, but I do like the fill speed bar because sometimes whenever he does do his ultimate ability, he actually doesn't get the kill. So it's nice to be able to kind of have this as a safeguard to be able to get the extra speed bar fill so that he can go a little bit faster anyways. And then also being able to do this, give this to all other Wakandan allies is also good too in both game modes for Cosmic Crucible and then also War Offense. So I actually really do like this one. That's one I would consider. Special, I think, is probably skippable. For what it does is that it gives you an extra 50% crit chance whenever he has 2 or more Wakandan allies. I don't think you need this, and it also does apply 2 counters to self and all Wakandan allies. Before, I think it was just applying 1 counter, but I don't think you need this one. This is probably one that I would skip personally. If I were you, I would just do the passive first, and then maybe the ultimate, and then definitely luxury T4, I would say, as a special ability. All right, so next character here, let's talk about Shuri. So Shuri, I would also say, I think I actually like all 3 of these. I wouldn't do the basic. Do not do the basic by any means. That one is absolutely a waste. The reason why I did the basic is because of Dark Dimension 3, the double Iron Fist node. Man, that was terrible. So that's the only reason why I did it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But some of y'all know that was hell, man, going through with those double Iron Fists. So that's the reason why I T4 the basic, so I can get the 2-turn heal block on that node. But in terms of like T4s that are actually useful on Shuri, definitely passive for sure. On spawn, she's given speed up to self and all Wakandan allies. She's given an extra 20% max health as well to herself and all Wakandan allies too. And then ultimate, this one is only for War. So if you don't care about War, I probably wouldn't do this one, right? So on War Offense, if this character has 4 or more charges, she'll clear heal block and then 3 random negative effects on self and each War Dog ally. So if you do not care about War, skip this T4, not necessary for you. I would only do the passive right now. And then special ability, this is useful outside of War, any game mode that you do. Apply, when you T4 this ability, you generate ability energy for 4 random Wakandan allies, And then also on War Offense is a little bit of a buff too, so you get the applied +1 charge up to a maximum of 10 to self and all War Dog allies. The charge is actually really important for war and characters that are in war, like Black Panther 1mm, Nakia, Okoye, things like that. So therefore, I definitely would T4 that one if you're going to go into war, or T4 that one anyways, but you get the additional bonus for war and then only the ultimate for war. So outside of war, passive and special are the only ones that I would do on Shuri. All right, next, let's talk about M'Baku. A lot of these are going to be skippable T4s. Like I said, this is a passion project team for me, so I did a lot of T4s on them. If you don't care about Cosmic Crucible, I probably wouldn't even build M'Baku, to be honest with you. I think he's probably a skippable character. He may actually show up as really useful in Scourge, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. For M'Baku, his passive is a Cosmic Crucible passive. So if you don't care about CC, then probably don't do this one. In Cosmic Crucible, if this character has 2 or more Wakandan allies, he lowers armor by 30%. I'm gonna be honest with you, this point is probably not even important in Cosmic Crucible. Yes, it does give him an opportunity to be able to do more damage, but I think this is more sort of kind of min-maxing, so I'll probably skip that T4 in general, even in Cosmic Crucible if you're using it there, because it kind of seems a little luxury. And I would also say it's similar boat as well for the ultimate ability. It's an extra 60% damage, and it applies +1 vulnerable up to a maximum 3 to the targets of the chain. And this is like, so what he does here is attack primary target and all adjacent targets 320% damage, apply 1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 3, change to target adjacent to the primary target and attack all the adjacent targets as well, and then try to apply that 1 vulnerable. If he misses this, then what this adds is that it will try again if they resist the vulnerable for him to try to apply it. Personally, it's probably a skippable T4. I probably wouldn't do that one. So far I'm saying like passive and ultimate, probably skippable if you don't really care about it that much. Special though, I do think is kind of important. With the special, he gains 2 charges up to a maximum of 5. But the big one for me here is that he applies defense up for 2 turns. So it's nice that once Shuri loses her defense up for 2 turns, that you're then able to come back again with M'Baku and then give the team defense up for 2 turns. So that's the only one that I would do on M'Baku, really. I would probably skip passive and ultimate and then just go with the special ability, in my opinion. I'll talk about the reason why I have radar on them later on. All right, next character here is Okoye. Only these 2, basic ability and then ultimate ability, but ultimate ability only if you care about war. Although it is useful in Cosmic Crucible, I would only do it if you care about war offense, because I feel like it's more useful there, in my personal opinion. So passive definitely is a skip. I don't think you need that one at all. Ultimate though, when you T4 this in Crucible and then also on war offense, she will clear revive once from the primary target, and this cannot be resisted. So personally, the revive once to me only matters when I'm going up against Stormhold or pretty much basically Stormhold and on war offense. That's the only time that I probably really care about this ultimate. So honestly, I probably would not do this ultimate unless you are using this team against a Stormhold team in Alliance War. Otherwise, this is probably very much a skippable T4, and I would just do the basic, because the basic, whenever she does her ISO attack, whenever she does her assist, she's clearing 2 well, that's the ISO attack. Whenever she's doing her assist, she's clearing 2 positive effects with this. So I absolutely would do this T4. Actually, you're already getting the 2 clears, my bad. What you're doing is that you're getting an extra 50% focus to do these attacks. So that's where the T4 becomes valuable, because you're getting the extra 50% focus for this attack, and that also includes her bonus attack. That includes her bonus attack on the whenever she does her assist. You get what I'm saying, right? The assist attack, that's where you get the extra focus. So I would only do the basic on her. The ultimate ability is skippable unless you care about war offense, right? All right, next is Killmonger. We'll go over this one really quickly. I think honestly, the only one that the passive is nice because you're getting an extra 70% damage to the most injured. Where's it at? Attack the most injured enemy for 330% damage. You're getting an extra 70% on this, or there was an extra 70% that was added to this number for the most injured whenever he gains defense up. He gains defense up a couple times from Shuri and then also in Baku. So it's kind of like a nice little luxury one to have here. The one that you really want to do though is his ultimate ability if you care about Cosmic Crucible though. Only if you care about Cosmic Crucible. So this one gives an increase of 30% damage. So that's already added here for me. And then you get the in Crucible rebound chain to 7 adjacent targets for 240% damage. So you want to actually have this one because this one does an insane amount of damage in Cosmic Crucible. That is something that I would definitely do on Killmonger, but that's the only one. I would skip the basic. You don't need it. Don't worry about it. Trust me, you don't need it at all. All right, and the next character here, Nakia. I would only do the passive on Nakia here. You want the passive. This is now obviously you're only really building out Nakia if you care about war offense, right? So for her passive ability, this one gives an increase to attacking the most injured enemy. It gives it, so before it was 100%, and then on war offense, she's now going to be attacking for 350% piercing instead to the most injured enemy. So that's definitely one that you want. This is kind of the reason why she is so important to the team. This is like what makes her like sensational. So you definitely want to do the C4. So I would definitely not skip that one. I will go ahead and do that one. And if you're caring about war offense, and then her special, you want to do this one too, because this one when you do her special, this one gives her the ability to generate 1 ability energy for all adjacent war dog allies. We should probably talk about placement as well in this video. So you definitely want to also do this one. And then on Black Panther 1mm, only these two are good. Once again, you're using these characters for war offense, I assume, because they're the war dog characters. So passive is good here. You're getting the extra 5% speed bar fill. Extra 5% speed bar fill for self and all war dog allies. And then the ultimate ability here, you want to do this because before you're only able to copy and clear 1 positive effect. That brings it all the way up to 5. You're also only able to transfer 1, I believe, as well to the other war dog allies. This brings it up to 5. So you definitely want to be able to do it. They kind of pigeonhole you into being able to do, into having to do that one. So that's kind of the scenario that it is. All right, and then other things here in terms of ISO 8. So this is gonna be pretty basic for some of the characters. So in terms of like Black Panther, definitely want to go Striker all the way. You want to be able to take advantage of the triple tap with the Skirmisher Striker combo with Okoye in pretty much basically all the game modes, Cosmic Crucible, War Offense. You want to be able to take advantage of that. It's less prevalent though in War Offense depending on what teams you're facing. If you're facing Stormhold or Young Avengers, things like that, it is going to negate the triple tap, but you still want to be able to take advantage of the extra bonus attack, what he does here with his Striker bonus attack, being able to apply slow and bleeds. So that's, for me, I would say the Striker is definitely good all the way. Shuri, the jury is out on her. I don't even know. She only has 1 attack that actually targets an enemy. So that's the reason why like healer just seems to be the right one for her, just to maximize her healing potential. There's some debates as to whether or not like throwing something else like Skirmisher just to get some additional vulnerables out there might be better, but she doesn't really do her basic attack a lot in matchups, so it probably doesn't really matter. M'Baku, so I used to think Skirmisher was better for him. I've been trying out Raider on M'Baku here, and it actually works out a little bit better for me. So he does have this 1 multi-target hit here, which is his ultimate. He's also very slow, doesn't take a ton of turns as well. He takes a decent amount of turns, but other characters are really faster on his team. So with this ultimate ability here, my wife just dropped some dishes, so that's probably what you're in the background. But this ability here targets multiple characters. He's already going to be able to apply the vulnerable. But so what I really care about is him critting, because whenever he crits, then he will benefit Okoye a little bit. So on self or Wakandan allies crit, gain 1 charge up to a maximum of 5. And I care about her charges because in Crucible or on War offense, obviously I'm using M'Baku with her in Cosmic Crucible, she will, yes, the lower the damage by 15% for all enemies, but what I really care about is gaining the extra 20% speed for self and all Wakandan allies. So if M'Baku can crit on that ult, although he'll already apply the vulnerables, but if he can crit on that ult, then that also helps to speed up my team whenever he does this attack. So therefore, that's the reason why I put Raider on him instead, and it's actually worked out quite well in the way that I wanted it to. That's the reason why I do have Raider on him. Okoye, you want to have Skirmisher because of the striker bonus. She assists on each Wakandan or War Dog ally's turn. So having Skirmisher on her gives you the opportunity for you to be able to get the triple taps with some of the characters that have the striker ISO on them. And then of course there's additional damage for characters that do not have the striker ISO on them as well. So that's the reason why you want to have her as your Skirmisher. Killmonger as a Raider in Cosmic Crucible. Once again, in general, he has this big 7 adjacent targets sort of hit, so Raider will work better on him there to be able to apply some more vulnerables. Also, whenever he crits, he'll benefit Okoye to be able to then speed up the rest of the team. So therefore, I want to take advantage of that mechanic. So that's the reason why I have Raider on him. Nakia. So a lot of people will probably say, well, why don't you go with Striker on her? The reason why I didn't go with Striker on her is because in War, I'm using this team against Dormhold, and I'm using this team against like baby Dormholds, of course, for now. But most of the time when I'm using them against our Young Avengers. So Nakia doesn't really, the benefit of me getting like ISO bonus attack doesn't really work out that well. And because she does have a couple multi-target hits here, like her ultimate ability is some crowd control, gives some crowd control here. Her basic ability gives some crowd control here. I want to take advantage of the throwing out the vulnerables, and the assist mechanic stops against teams like Young Avengers and Dormhold because Morgan negates the assist and Young Avengers negates the assist as well. So therefore, I kind of don't really want to, I'm not really getting the benefit of her. I would get more benefit out of her having the Raider ISO on her than I would her having the Striker ISO on her, as to where like characters like Black Panther 1mm and Black Panther, their actual ISO bonus attacks on Striker actually is a little bit more impactful than primarily hers is. So therefore, being able to take advantage of, especially the ultimate, if she does crit with this, like, it's really good, right? Because he hits a lot of adjacent targets and gets in. So it's a little bit of crowd control there. So I prefer Raider on Nakia. You could go Striker if you're using her against other characters in Alliance War. And then Black Panther 1mm Striker. I like the Striker bonus attack here for him. It's at the primary target of 250% piercing, apply one defense down up to a maximum. And if he does have defense up, then he'll repeat this attack. It's the same for his ISO bonus attack as well. So that's the reason why I do have Striker on him. And in terms of like top team trio, so it's Black Panther, Okoye, and Shuri. Those are the 3 trio characters that are on the team. In terms of Red Star priorities, like who I would probably prioritize for Red Stars, I would start off with Black Panther first. I would go in that direction. And then if you care about War, I would go Nakia next. If you care about Alliance War, because that piercing damage that she gives out, 350% piercing, will only be amplified once you do actually put the higher Red Stars on her. And then of course Black Panther 1mm is also pretty decent too with some Red Stars, although I think he's okay if you have him at like 4 reds. But the characters that would try to get to 5 red, 6 red would probably be Nakia and Black Panther. Outside of that, I think Okoye, Shuri, the other guys are probably okay at 4. You can bring them to 5 if you want to. Killmonger abilities can be amplified a little bit as well if you have him at higher Red Stars, but priority for me would definitely be Black Panther first, and then for Alliance War, I'll probably go Nakia. Best team comps for Cosmic Crucible, in my opinion, I like Black Panther, Okoye, Shuri with M'Baku, and then you could pick and choose who you want to, right? I like Killmonger because of the rebound chain attack with his ultimate ability, so that's the reason why I still use my Killmonger in Cosmic Crucible. I use him a lot against massive, like 1,900,000 teams, 900k like X-Men teams in Cosmic Crucible now. And that rebound chain that he does is actually really nice to be able to kind of mow some characters down here. And then also for Scourge, Well, an alternative to Cosmic Crucible too, you can also still take out Killmonger and then use Black Panther 1mm. I wouldn't use Nakia. Nakia is really only good in war, and that's the only place that I will probably use her there, is just an alliance war. But for Cosmic Crucible, the top trio that I mentioned, M'Baku, Killmonger, or M'Baku and Black Panther 1mm, you definitely want M'Baku because of the charges and the defense up. Also being able to take a taunt and take on some extra damage so that your other characters don't get it too. And then for Scourge, I think it's probably going to most likely end up being Black Panther, Shuri, Okoye, M'Baku, and probably Black Panther 1M and 1mm are probably going to be your best bet here for Scourge. You definitely want M'Baku because of the defense up, also the charges that he can give to Black Panther as well. So that's the reason why I would probably go that route. If you were looking at your best Scourge team, I would say those are probably your best 5 characters. As opposed, I don't think Killmonger will do as much for you as Black Panther 1mm and M'Baku will. I think M'Baku gaining some taunt gear, also giving the charges to Black Panther, and giving the charges to a couple of these other characters are going to be kind of crucial for some of these nodes. So I definitely think that you want to have M'Baku there. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for me. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. Leave it in the comments. And one quick thing on placement in terms of like your war offense placement. This is what I would do. I think I talked about this in another video here, but for Alliance War, if you're running with this team, you want to put Nakia in between Shuri and Okoye. Remember, whenever Nakia does her special ability, she gives ability energy to adjacent War Dog allies. So you want Shuri and Okoye to be able to get that ability energy. You could also even make a case for Black Panther, but in a lot of ways you want Okoye because Okoye can then get the ability energy for her ultimate against a Dormhole team, where she can actually then use her ultimate on turn 1 against Morgan Le Fay and remove her revive once. That's the reason why you want to do that placement. All right, guys, hopefully this was helpful. I know I probably rushed through the video, so please ask questions if you have anything, and I would love to be able to help out, guys. Listen, until next time, y'all be blessed, y'all be safe.